Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Valpo Basketball Preview. Todd Ickow joined by head coach Bryce Drew. Coach, an exciting week coming up. It's just one ball game this week, but it's a great test for your team against one of the hottest teams in the league in Milwaukee.
You know, we're pretty exhausted from last weekend. Two very emotional games. Both went down to the last possession. So it is nice to have a week to prepare to get ready for Milwaukee, and you know we're going to need time to prepare because, like you said, they're playing as well as anyone in the league right now.
You got two teams playing really well right now: Cleveland State and Milwaukee. They seem to be consistent. Milwaukee's won 3 in a row. Maybe 3 really good teams. They just won at Green Bay, obviously something that nobody has done. Cleveland State seems to be rolling. This is the time of year you have to start really playing well with the conference tournament less than a month away.
You know, it's coming very quickly. You know, we're down to 5 conference games left. Some teams are down to 4, and so it's come very quickly. And you know, I think having healthy players is going to be a big thing, and then having confidence near this end of the season stretch.
And this is a real swing game in the standings now. I think maybe about a week and a half ago, Milwaukee looked like they were going to finish in the bottom half of the league, but it doesn't look like that anymore. Are you surprised at how well they're playing right now?
No, they started the year out excellent. They had some really quality wins in the non-conference schedule, and they've played well. It's just again, some games, as boil down to that last shot or 1 or 2 possessions, and so now I think they're playing like they were earlier in the year.
How about the amount of close games you guys have played here, especially in conference, really throughout the entire course of the year? You go all the way back to Murray State to start the year, and the game against Mercer and the game against St. Louis. All these close games. Do you feel like it helps when you get down to the stretch?
I think the experience of being in those situations. Hopefully, the guys feel a little more comfortable. Maybe aren't as nervous, or they know what more to expect. We've lost quite a few of them earlier in the year. You lost 3 at the buzzer at home, which was tough. So it was really nice to be able to get this last one, especially on our home floor.
And you talk about guys being nervous, guys having experience down the stretch. The guy who made the big play for you in the win against Oakland hadn't been on the court for you down the stretch in really any of those ball games. You got to be kind of proud of what Clay Yo did on Sunday, because here's a guy who really, it's been a rough month and a half for him. He's been through a lot, mostly on the court and not being able to get on the court. Yeah. And then you call on his number, and it had to be kind of rewarding for a coach to see a player like that step up.
He's had a tough year from an injury and sickness standpoint. Once he started to play well or start to feel well, he's been hurt or had a different illness come up. And so we think we were also happy for him to be healthy, get some good practice days, and then he did a tremendous job in the game, especially on the defensive end. I thought his defense was tremendous for us.
Did a great job on Bader. I think Bader only had 1 basket against him, and it was that one right at the end. He kind of got picked off, pushed off a little bit, and still Bader made a phenomenal shot.
Yeah.
But certainly Clay's defense was as impressive as his offense. You got to feel like now he's feeling better, obviously off this game. He's going to get some more minutes, I assume.
Well, the nice thing with our team is our staff feels very comfortable putting a lot of different people on the floor, depending on matchups and which guys are playing well. And so, if he can stay healthy and continue to play well, he can definitely help our team. But the nice thing is, too, we have a lot of guys that we feel on any night can come in and, really help us out.
Let's get back to Milwaukee. One last point about them. They have played really well in the last couple weeks, and they've got an unbelievable play from Jordan Aaron. Mm-hmm. We've seen him over the last couple of years, but he's finally playing really at a real high level. He had 30 points against Green Bay in a matchup with Kiefer Sykes. That says something about how well he's playing.
He's very quick, and he shoots the ball well, and so sometimes people have speed, but they don't have the shooting, or they have the shooting and not the speed, and he has both, and so that's what makes him a very tough matchup, is he can shoot from deep, but then he can also put it on the ground and get by you. So, it's no surprise he's putting up these numbers. He's a very good player, and hopefully we can slow him down a little bit.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Head coach Bryce Drew. We'll talk to everybody next week on Valpo Basketball Preview.